My goodness, I love the thumbnail that I just took. I had a crack of just like one tooth like sticking out of my mouth, like that. Uh, it just it looks funny to me. So I'm gonna leave that thumbnail up. Anyways, Poseidon Kikladon wanted me to respond to the video by uh, Secular Talk that happened a day ago. I believe the title was "Scary Proof That Trump Won't Be Easy to Beat in 2020." And so the uh, the numbers that uh, Kyle Kalinske flashed up on his screen, they were that Trump had like 140,000 votes in the New Hampshire primary, and for an incumbent, that was like the most ever by far. And so, yeah, I went ahead and I looked at the actual numbers. It was 130,000 almost. It was 129,696. And then Bill Weld, who he got 13,000. He was a really, really distant second. And then there's Mary Maxwell and Joe Walsh, each not even getting 1,000. If you put it all together, uh, like all the votes for everyone on the Republican side, you get about 150,000, right? If you were to look at the Democratic side, the top two candidates were Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg, getting 76,000 and 72,000 votes respectively, right? So just those two put together are almost 150,000. And if you were to add all of the votes that happened in the Democratic Party primary, it is 288,000, give or take, right? The top 10 put together is 288,000. So, um, yeah, Kyle is saying that this is unprecedented for a candidate who is the incumbent to have as many votes as Trump had, right? That it's scary, right? But even so, if you look at the other side, um, what I'd like to see is a history of how many votes did the other party get altogether between the candidates that it had. I think that that might be uh, a good number to contrast against the number that Kyle Kalinske is scaremongering with. Um, I don't know. I do think that Trump will not be easy to beat for any of the candidates. And the biggest reason is because people consider the economy to be something that the president has a hand in uh, creating, and that they do so at a level that just is not congruent with reality. And so, if the economy looks good to them by the measures that they're using, they're probably going to want to keep him in office. Even though uh, stagnant wages is not a real victory for America, for the middle class, but whatever. Um, they're looking at unemployment rates and going, oh, look, we have record low unemployment rates. But then, the people who are working those jobs aren't making enough to make any savings. And most of them have credit card debt that they can't dig themselves out of. And most of them don't have a savings account with even $500 in it. You know, um, those kind of measures, I think, are better, measures of how the economy is doing. the economy sucks. Wages are stagnant, and everyone has a side hustle. Everyone's turning their hobbies into side hustles and ruining the fun of their hobbies because you can't have a hobby in this economy. Everything you do has to be side hustle mentality, you know? So, yeah, he's not going to be easy to beat because people don't realize these things. They see, oh, record high stock market, even though I don't own stocks. I think that means that the economy is doing well, you know? And they'll vote him back in on just ill thought out reasons like that. Um, so yeah, that's my take on Kyle's video. It was a my take was about as long as his video was, and I just wanted to show you guys that I got uh, my ballot in for the primary, and you'll notice that the only thing on here is candidates for president because we have a completely separate election system in Colorado now for everything else but the presidential primary. So, because I actually chose a political party, you can see right here that this is the official Democratic Party ballot. I don't get the other ballot because I'm not independent. Uh, Independents get both ballots, and they have to choose to use one or the other, and that's how they vote in the primary. So I only got one. I got to return this one, and on it there are the names of many candidates. So it's Cory Booker, Pete Buttigieg, Tulsi Gabbard, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Amy Klobuchar, Rocky De La Fuente III, Michael Bennet, Marianne Williamson, Deval Patrick, Michael Bloomberg, Robbie Wells, Andrew Yang, Joseph R. Biden, Tom Steyer, Rita Krichevsky, and John Delaney. Right? And so I looked up two of these that I had never heard of before. They were Rocky De La Fuente III and Rita Krichevsky. So Rocky, he is a guy in uh, the Republican Party, right? Like when I look him up, he's a guy who's been in the Republican Party, uh, and he's from California, and uh, he previously has created his own parties, like just to try to run for president, the Reform Party and the American Delta Party for president, and I guess he's run in many different years. So 2016, he was the Reform Party candidate. Um, so I guess he qualified to be on the ballot somehow. And so Rita Krichevsky, this was an interesting one. She is a psychiatrist in either Pennsylvania or New Jersey, right? And somewhere out on the East Coast, this psychiatrist decided, you know what, I'm just going to run for president and just get my name on the ballot. So I was like, well, how the hell do these nobody people end up on this ballot? So I looked up the ballot access for president in different states and found Colorado on Ballotpedia, which is a great resource for everyone. And I found out that you can petition to get onto this by just getting 5,000 signatures, by like standing outside a Safeway when people are shopping and just saying, "Hey, you want to sign here so I can get on the ballot?" Or you can simply pay a $500 filing fee. And it says here a candidate can qualify for ballot placement either by filing a petition or by paying the filing fee. A candidate does not need to do both. So when it's a psychiatrist that is in uh, the East Coast and is not even anywhere near Colorado and doesn't have a grassroots base to like, have petitions at the grocery store, for people to sign, um, they can still make it without having to make a high threshold of signatures. And 5,000 signatures is not that much. I could go to various places and get 5,000 signatures if I wanted to be on this ballot. I actually, for vanity purposes, thought, it might be fun just to do it one of these times, but not for $500. I would probably go get the petitions and then, get some real people in Colorado signatures. But yeah, people have their fun. You can also just have people do a write in uh, of your name during the general election. Mickey Mouse and Garfield the cat always get votes. But yeah, I imagine if you got your name on this ballot, you might not even vote that year. You might just frame it. Like, hey, I ran for president once. Anyway, let's see. Poseidon says, "Why is your ballot written in Russian? More DNC trickery." It's not written in Russian. That's just her name, Krzyzewski. And I think it's Polish. It's probably not uh, Russian. Um, let's see. Jamie Demeter says that there's no Muslim candidates. Hmm. Uh, no. No, I don't see any. None that I know of, But they could also always be Manchurian Muslim candidates, right? Um, Marianne Williamson has a strange sort of spiritualism about her. Let's see. Hi, Bugsy. Uh, so they mix local reps with presidential. Interesting. No, they don't. They don't mix local reps with the presidential primary. Michael Bennett actually was running in and of his own, to be president, not just for the seat that he is now occupying. Even Bloomberg seems better than them. Uh, Michael Bloomberg is right here. He apparently had $500. None of the Democratic candidates impress Rob Jones. And you can't believe that these are the final people. Um, you know, maybe in a couple years, some of the names that we didn't know that just got on the ballots these years might actually have made names for themselves when they run again. And people like Amy Klobuchar, that I'd never heard of before, won't be towards the top of the pack. Pete Buttigieg, like, where was he 4 years ago? I don't know. I only know about him because of this presidential race. Him being the mayor of South Bend never crossed my radar. Jamie says Trump will win because people care more about giving free health care for illegals than their own people. Virtue signaling will destroy the modern world. Oh my goodness. How about just like free health care for everyone on the planet? Free at the point of service, you know? And if it doesn't matter which country that you're in when you get the free health care, then people won't be coming here for free health care. They'll just be getting it wherever they get it, you know? What if there was a rotation of doctors that just went around to different countries, like Doctors Without Borders, and they just had privileges at different hospitals and just, you know, gave good health care everywhere they went. Maybe they could, vacation in Cancun on the weekend, after working a week in Cancun. Maybe the world needs to, lighten up about who's paying for what and just, treat everyone like we're all human beings with inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Maybe. Let's see. Uh, Poseidon says the rumor is Bloomberg plans to pick Hillary as his VP. Um, I don't think anyone that is that stupid. That's just putting a target right on your head right here. Like as soon as if he were to win the presidency, uh, he'd have to watch his back and have to hire someone to sample all of his food before he ate it. No, I'm sorry to like fall prey to the Hillary conspiracy theories about how she's got a body count and whatnot, but I'm just saying the woman really, really, really wants to be president. And if she got vice president, I'd be afraid if I was the president. Because she'd be next in line and she'd be really, really, really motivated. Rob Jones wants to know, given how corrupt Trump is and how much he has MPD, why are these candidates not really talking about how important this election is? They all seem weak. I think they're doing their best, you know, but the one candidate that I think is doing her best to point out each and every thing that Trump should have been impeached for is actually AOC, and she's not old enough to run yet, but I do wish that others were, harping on about the same things that she was, that finally made Pelosi, impeach him for something. But I wish all the different things that he was impeachable for actually ended up on the Senate's doorstep. Um, and there's still time. Maybe Trump will be the first person to be impeached and acquitted twice. That's an achievement, right? So they can bring him up on the emoluments problems and, you know, send that down the pipe. Make history. Who doesn't want to be a part of history, right? Uh, well, that's the end of the comments for today. Sorry it's a short video. It's only been 20 minutes, but yeah, my my ballot came with a sleeve to put the ballot into, and it has right here a I voted dinosaur sticker, right? And apparently it was designed by Laurel Hoyt, a recent graduate of Front Range Community College. So our I voted stickers don't have American flags on them anymore. They have Triceratops skulls. Talk to you guys tomorrow night.